What's up, guys? Hi there. So 2023 is almost over, and it's time to take a look at what the future holds for Samsung phones. We already know what to expect from the Galaxy S24 series, and honestly, those are some really exciting upgrades. But what happens after the S24? Well, we have some interesting rumors about the Galaxy S25 lineup that could shape Samsung's future. As usual, this information comes from South Korea from the Korean forum. It mentions that Samsung could adopt a new naming scheme for its high-end phones, starting with the Galaxy S25 lineup. According to the report, Samsung could drop the S from its Ultra model and simply call it the Galaxy Ultra. This isn't the first time we're hearing about this name change. Last year, the tipster named SuperRotor said that Samsung could do this, and even the patent leak suggested the same. In fact, Samsung has already used this name for its smartwatch, so it's very likely that they'll go with this name for their phone as well. But why is Samsung doing this? The report mentions that Samsung wants to make its folding phones more of a mainstream product, and to do that, they need to come up with a proper marketing strategy. Calling both the regular and the foldable phones as Galaxy Ultra doesn't make sense. So changing the name of the non-folding Ultra phone to something else is the best way forward. Now, some of you might be thinking that they should drop the S from the S25 altogether and just call it Galaxy 25, but that's not happening. So the report mentions that Samsung still wants to keep its Ultra phones as the top-of-the-line device. And just for context, the S25 lineup will fold into two different form factors. One will fold in half like the Z Flip, and the other one will fold into a tablet-like form factor like the Z Fold. So calling the latter as just Galaxy 25 doesn't make any sense because it's going to have so many more features than the Flip variant. If this name change happens, then it's possible that we could see the birth of a new naming scheme for Samsung's high-end phones. We don't know what this name would be, but if I were Samsung, I would definitely go with something like Galaxy X or Galaxy Prime. Moving on. Report also mentions that Samsung is working on a new type of hinge for its folding phones that can reduce the crease on the display significantly. It won't completely get rid of the crease, but it's going to reduce it so much that it's not going to be an issue anymore. Also, Samsung is working on making the displays for its folding phones cheaper. Apparently, the cost of the display is the biggest reason behind the high price of the folding phones. So if Samsung can make the displays cheaper, then it's possible that we could see a price drop with the next iteration of the folding phones. Samsung is also looking to increase the sales of the Galaxy S23 FE next year. They want it to be a blockbuster product, just like the S21 FE was. To do that, they're going to bring some significant changes to the design. The front and the back of the S23 FE will be flat, and according to Ice Universe, the bezels will be as thin as the S23 Ultra. I mean, if you look at the current S23 FE, it's already a good phone for the price, but the bezels are just too thick, which makes it look outdated. So thinner bezels will surely help it look more modern. Also, he says that Samsung will offer this phone in multiple color options and will price it very aggressively to make it an enticing deal for potential buyers. Samsung is also working on making the Exynos chip better. According to Ice Universe, Exynos is expected to see a huge improvement in performance and efficiency, which will help the battery life on the Galaxy S24 series. But don't get too excited because the S24 series will only use the Snapdragon processor. Exynos will only come into the picture with the Galaxy S25 lineup. Of course, for all the latest updates on the S24, be sure to stay tuned. And as always, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.